EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, August 21st and 22nd, 2021. The video forecast for the weekend is sponsored by Bozer Brewing Company in Easton. They are at 1250 Simon Boulevard, very close to Lafayette College in Easton. Fine purveyors of craft beer in the Lehigh Valley area. We have a lot to talk about in this video, a lot. And it mostly is going to be centered around hurricane, or presumably Hurricane Henri. The time the video was recorded, just after the 11 o'clock National Hurricane Center advisory, Henri was still a tropical storm, very strong tropical storm, and only 4 miles per hour away from hurricane status. But it's still technically a tropical storm at this time. But when you might be watching this in the morning on Saturday morning, it'll already be a hurricane. It should be, or very close to it. We do expect it to intensify today in a very low shear environment and moving over some very warm Gulf Stream waters today. Before I get to that, I don't want to discount today. Today is going to be very similar to yesterday. We're going to have partly to mostly cloudy skies. We will have the opportunity for a pop-up shower or storm across the region. Not a lot of coverage of that. This is looking at Saturday afternoon. You don't see a lot here. As we get over the NAM high-res future simulated radar, starting this off at noon, not really too much here at this point, but then you'll have a few pop-ups here, mainly in the interior, as it moves through during the course of the afternoon today. It goes to the afternoon and early evening. These are just pop-up, quick showers, rotating through, nothing to cancel plans over. So if you have anything outdoors going today, you're okay. You might have to just dodge for cover for 5-10 minutes until a shower passes, and that's it. Okay, so not a real big deal. And again, it's kind of a role reversal from what we saw a couple days ago. It looked like a couple days ago we're going to be dealing with a wetter Saturday, drier Sunday, and it kind of went backwards here. And Sunday is a little wetter now because of Hurricane Henri and some fringe effects that are going to be taking place over parts of the region. So now we'll get into Sunday. Sunday is the day for Henri's effects locally on our region. Here is its current position at the 11 o'clock National Hurricane Center advisory. It was a 70-mile-per-hour storm moving north at 9 miles per hour. So it was moving west-southwest yesterday, and it made a turn to the northwest last night when I was doing the video. It is now fully north, and it's actually maybe a little east of north, moving around an upper-level trough. I'll show you that in a second. But that is going to continue to move off to the north. They have it as a hurricane. Strongest storm, where the storm is going to be right in here, between these two H's here, between this one and this one. Somewhere in here, we're going to have winds that are going to increase quite rapidly, I think. You're going to have, it'll not only reach hurricane status, but might get to like Category 2 or so and get to, 95 mile, 100 miles per hour storm in this area. But then it's going to get out of the Gulf Stream, which is what's fueling this in a very low shear environment. And it's going to slow down on approach to the coast, we think. So by doing that, it's going to go over cooler waters, not cold, but cooler. You normally need 80-degree water or better to keep it strengthening, and it's not quite that warm up here. Okay, it's actually a lot cooler. So, it's going to run over that for about 12 hours or so, and it's going to weaken on approach. Now, you might be going from a 100 mile per hour storm down to like 70, 75, but it's still going to be pretty strong once it comes in to landfall. Now, the interesting here with the National Hurricane Center is they've been pushing this cone west and further west here, and now is taking aim on, as of their 11 o'clock advisory here, central Long Island, which is near the Hamptons area. Most of you know that area is a very kind of ritzy area where, you have $20 million homes over there. All the rich people live there, right? So the cone of uncertainty now extends as far westward as northern New Jersey and even the far northeastern corner of Pennsylvania on the western side of this cone of uncertainty. I don't think it's going that far west. I just don't. There's not a lot of support for that currently. They do have the cone there just in case something happens with this upper level low that I'm going to show you in a minute, and the ridge off to the north. If they work in tandem with each other just right, it can push it a little bit further west. So it is not off the table to see something hit, like western Long Island or New York City area, or maybe even northern New Jersey. Not off the table. Not likely, but not off the table, okay? So this is their official track. Here is the latest NAM, 0Z run of the NAM here, and it has a simulated radar just to show you what it does here. And it makes a landfall on eastern Long Island, right about here, just east of the Hamptons. And you can see on Sunday we have some showers that are kind of wrapping around, and some feeder bands that are going to wrap around this hurricane as well as it makes landfall. So this is kind of like the outer bands of a hurricane that are going to keep sweeping through the area. Some of those bands, especially across New Jersey where it's shown here, you can still get some pretty gusty winds out of that, and tropical storm force winds. All right, and it's not going to be, 50, 60, 70 miles per hour like you're going to see in parts of Long Island if it hits there directly. You're talking about, maybe 40 to 45 type stuff, but it's still pretty gusty, and you can have several of those bands rotate through as it pivots to the west. And I'm not sure just what happened there, but we're going to go and went to temperature somehow. I did not do that. It just did it on its own. But the whole idea there is, let me just change this back here. I don't know. I really don't know what happened there. Okay, there we go. So as this moves inland, it's going to rapidly decrease in intensity. But the rain shield is going to spread out a little bit. You see rain continuing during all way back into Pennsylvania here during the course of the day. And you get some squally weather over parts of northern New Jersey and northeast PA, maybe even east central PA, as this wraps around this system. And that may continue to wrap around here on Monday, depending on the track. So that's the landfall point of the NAM. It's like eastern Long Island, all right? And here's the winds associated with that as it makes that landfall. Here's a landfall point right there. You can see it makes that I landfall right on the eastern part of Long Island here. And these are all the wind gusts associated with it. If this makes any further trek west, all of these contours that you see here, and I'm stopping the video on purpose here so you can see, all these wind contours are a higher wind speed. See that? And it just keeps going up or down and down the further away you go. If this is over here instead, all of these lines are going to back up even further, okay? So you're going to have wind coming pretty far inland. That is not the case right now, and I think this is the best case. This is really the best case for our region, except for the New Jersey coastal areas. Even New Jersey here, you're gusting, you're getting some gusts 35 to 45, certainly, especially with those squally bands coming through there. They're going to be even higher. But if this goes any further west, it's going to increase that exponentially because the system itself is moving west. That's going to increase the wind speeds further west as well. So this is the best look at it right now, what we're expecting. And that means interior Pennsylvania wouldn't have too much out of that. As we go to some other pictures here, again, eastern Long Island is a landfall point. This is what the GFS has this evening. Maybe even a little further east of Long Island and maybe near the Rhode Island, Connecticut border here instead. All right. The European model, same thing, same landfall point. The Canadian short range, same landfall point. Okay. The HMON, same landfall point. And the HWRF, same landfall point. So they're all honing in on the eastern tip of Long Island here as being kind of ground zero. So this could be a windshield washer effect, which means the models go back and forth on where the landfall point's going to be. Yesterday, we were looking at Cape Cod or Nantucket, and then it went way west, and then it kind of now looks like it's kind of adjusting back east and settling in the middle. So that's kind of like in the middle of this National Hurricane Center track. You can see right here. So it's right in that area where they have the hurricane warnings up. So that is a very plausible solution. I think that's the most likely solution. Can this still shift back further west? Yes, absolutely. And what we're going to look for to see if it's going to do that, if my mouse is going to work here. Here we go. This is something I put in our premium forum today just to give the players in the field. Upper level trough is over our region. That's what's giving you the partly mostly cloudy skies today and the chance for a shower. Upper level trough sitting like this. And you have a ridge extension building over the top of this system, strong ridge to its east. So the steering flow is actually going to take it back toward the coast. The question is, does this high pressure and this upper level trough work in tandem to do that, make that turn a little bit faster? We don't know that yet. There's still a little bit of uncertainty. Again, all the models are agreeing that eastern Long Island is the hit point, and it's probably the highest probability or the most likely. But that does not mean that it cannot continue to come further west. So this is something we're just going to monitor over the weekend and see where we're at over the next 24 to 36 hours, and we'll have obviously by then have a much better idea. We'll see where trends go over the next 24 hours. That's going to be critical to this forecast. But right now, I'd say eastern Long Island, maybe east of the Hamptons, is probably a good bet. All right. As far as heavy rain and what we could expect for heavy rain from this area, we have a marginal risk going all the way back in eastern Pennsylvania and western New Jersey, and a slight risk for excessive rainfall in all the yellow areas here. And then near ground zero, eastern part of Long Island and Connecticut will be on the highest risk, which is a moderate risk for flash flooding and excessive rainfall in this region. And we also have a storm surge possibility along our shore points, much higher, of course, east of the system. But in our area locally, 1 to 3 feet over is the storm surge, which is the amount of water rise above normally dry ground. Okay, so this is a concern for the coastal areas all the way from Cape May up to Point Pleasant, Sandy Hook in that area. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of storm surge, coastal flooding, and things like that involved with this as well. So we just have to wait and see what track is correct. If this is, let me get back here. If this is correct with showing this landfall point this far east, it will be less impacts to, or minimal impacts to the inland, west of the Delaware River. But northern New Jersey will still get some squally weather out of that, even if it's far east into Long Island. So we're going to be focusing on northern New Jersey and central coastal New Jersey, okay? As kind of like the worst case scenario for our area. If this goes any further west, though, again, these bands are going to head further inland. It's going to be affecting as far west as eastern Pennsylvania, places like the Lehigh Valley up to the Mount Pocono region. This is not the forecast right now. Again, we're just monitoring and see what happens. And then after this system exits, here's that system moving in. We have some wraparound showers and storms that can still occur on Monday. Verdict is still out of that. It's going to depend on what is left of this system, where it tracks. But right now we're keeping scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for Monday with wraparound moisture around that system until this pulls away. On Tuesday, we'll have a mostly sunny Tuesday, mostly sunny Wednesday. And we're going to get into hotter temperatures next week. We're making a run at 90 degrees for about 3 straight days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at a minimum. And in some places, maybe even Friday, until a cold front moves through at the end of the week. We have a cold front coming at us on Thursday. This looks like a prefrontal trough. Might have some isolated scattered thunderstorms there. And then Friday, some more scattered thunderstorms as the next frontal boundary moves through. Once that moves through, we get back to near to slightly below average temperatures heading into the following weekend. Again, follow us on the social media channels, either my personal Twitter account, which I'll be updating this weekend. The premium forum, if you're subscribed, will have some updates throughout the day constantly as we have new information evolving. And if we have any pertinent information to release to the public, like we have a sudden west shift or something that was unexpected, and it's going to affect more of our region, we will certainly put that information out to the public. We'll have rain maps and things like that put on weather alerts later today once we have all that information, especially with wind expectations and things like that. If it's going to be minimal across our region, we're still going to put that out too, just so you have an idea of what to expect. But it mainly looks like the impacts here are going to be felt during the day on Sunday, and it'll go into Sunday evening as the time frame to expect the worst conditions from that landfalling hurricane. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for the weekend, August 21st and 22nd, 2021. Have a great Saturday and Sunday. Stay safe.